Yo, what's up? It's Dynasty back with some more Mortal Kombat 2 Uncaged news for you guys today because IGN yesterday published an article dubbed Mortal Kombat 2, how much does Scorpion versus Noob Saibot factor into the sequel? They have some quotes from producer Todd Gardner, the director McQuoid, where they pretty much give us a general idea of what to expect when it comes to both these characters in MK2. A few pretty decent quotes. So before we break down this article, you guys do know the drill by now. Takes you a second, drop a like on the video. I'm hoping that everyone's kind of moved on from, you know, the whole controversy of the fact that WB claimed every video that featured the trailer and Jade has no... With that said, let's see what to expect from Scorpion and Noob in MK2. Now, the full IGN article will be linked down below if you guys want to see this yourself. And you don't want to listen to me yap again. Says the filmmakers also shed light on Kitana and Jade and whether there's a post-credits scene or not. And from what it sounds like, it seems like there's not like a blatant tease for a third movie, but the doors at least kind of open a little bit, which I think is, I guess, valid. Now, our first quote is from producer Todd Garner. It says here, without giving away any plot points, they have a very strong history that was unresolved in the first movie that probably needs to be resolved at some point and may or may not be resolved in the second movie. But their storylines are instrumental in the plot of the movie, which overall does involve a tournament. So, a lot of words that really don't give us much, but I'll keep reading. Now, this next quote is actually from the director of the movie. It says that Scorpion plays a pivotal role, but it's really just about giving every character a strong reason to exist in the world and giving them a way that each of them start in one place and end in another. So we did that with Scorpion as well. He does an amazing job. Hero again. And there's some pretty wild stuff he does with Noob Saibot that it's very satisfying. It's exciting to know that the fans have got them waiting for them. This wonderful epic fight that plays out. So this is honestly something nice to hear. They wanted to make sure that every character had a reason to be featured. I'm hoping that Liu Kang is prominent throughout this movie, though, from what I've heard, maybe not so much. Now, going back to the quotes from producer Todd Gardner, next up right here, it says, Gardner cautioned that Scorpion is in the movie as much as Hiroyuki Sanada's busy schedule allowed, so time constraints. Now, the actual quote says here, we would love to have had him even way more than we had him in the sequel, but he has a huge career. He's a legend, and so we understand the importance of his character and wanted to give him his due, but also understand that this is, for the most part, a Johnny Cage journey, and that, therefore, we had to use Scorpion in the smartest way we possibly could think of to have the most impact on the story, which we hopefully have done, and give him his due in the fighting and the actual turns and twists of the story. Making movies involves physics, it involves real life, it involves actors, it involves schedules, and it's not like we can just pick and choose the schedules of people and get them as much as we would hope. So, not so much Scorpion, but I mean, at the very least, at least we're getting him facing off against Bihan, which is a big thumbs up in my book, because, I mean, it's the classic rivalry, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. It's not Sub-Zero, it's Bihan. You get what I'm saying, Snoop Saibot, but, you know, they made most of what they had, which I gotta applaud them for. Now, the next quote right here is from the director of the movie. It says, Kitana is the daughter, in inverted quotes, of Shao Kahn and Sindel. We will tell that story, so I guess it's safe to say that, yeah, King Jared is the guy getting killed by Shao Kahn in the debut trailer. Goes on to say, so we play out her journey, and from very early on to what that then means for our story, we have Jade. I'm doing this to rage bait in the comments, guys. Woo! And they're just bringing a new feeling and a new tonal ingredient to the story and to the atmosphere of what we're creating. And it just made it feel more exotic and beautiful and interesting and brutal. Not to say that our existing characters, I really want to respect them throughout it as well. So it's just about fitting it all in and calibrating and balancing their stories. So, Jade and Kitana will be featured, and again, from all accounts, it does seem like the focal point of the movie's plot will be dedicated around both characters, Johnny Cage and Kitana. We've known about that for like a year now, so kind of is what it is at this point. Now, to round out the article, this is pretty much the end right here. It says, given that the first film teased Johnny Cage's character would be in the sequel, should fans expect a post-credits scene in Mortal Kombat 2 that could set up another iconic games character that could be in the third film? No! It's not that kind of movie. There is a coda, but again, what we're very aware of, and this really comes to a real theory of New Line Cinema and why they're so great, is that they don't expect to make a sequel. We have to earn that right. So we don't just assume that we're going to get another shot at this, because who knows, right? If we've done our jobs like we hope that we've given this time, again, restraints of physics and budget, everything else, the audience tells us they enjoyed it enough to support it and give us the opportunity to make a sequel, then we will. But we're not going to give you some post-sequence to be like, oh, this is going to happen in the sequel. So, kind of bittersweet. Because hopefully, look, I will say in the same way the first movie said, hey, we got to find Johnny Cage. There is that idea at the end of this movie that this could continue. It's not like we're peeling off all the characters and saying, okay, we're done. Obviously, we could do more, and we obviously have plans to do more, and we know what we would want to do if we're given the opportunity to do more. And so if we're given that opportunity, then we will. But we don't want to assume that we can. That's probably the biggest takeaway from this, is that they're not necessarily going to give you that Marvel post-credit scene, or even like the first movie, you know, the Johnny Cage poster, what have you. Somehow, some way, they're going to give a little bit of light in this dark tunnel. I wonder how. You notice, too, like, we haven't heard or seen anything at all in regards to Quan Chi. So, how much is Quan Chi featured in here if we also have Shang Tsung and we also have Shao Kahn? Like, that's the one thing that I kind of want to know. Where's Quan Chi in all of this? Are they saving Quan Chi for, like, near the end? Is that how we go about maybe a potential third movie in this trilogy? We'll have to wait and see, but by all accounts, man, I'm not from the future, but I think it's safe to say that this movie will probably make more than the budget, and I think that's probably just what they need, especially given what we've heard lately from WB's head, how Mortal Kombat is one of their main 4 IPs, licenses that they want to push out there and shove out there. So why wouldn't they make a third movie if this is pretty much all WB has, apart from, like, Batman, you know, typical DC stuff, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter? It's Mortal Kombat right there. So I think we're going to get a third movie, which is kind of fitting because, you know, when you think of Mortal Kombat back in the day, it's like MK1, MK2, UMK3, and modern day for the movies, it's going to be Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3. Bittersweet to think that this time around we got 3 movies, and way back in the day, we only got 2, and Annihilation cut out like half the original cast, but it is what it is. Maybe that's when we get to see a certain somebody become Scorpion, but, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Again, I'll have this article linked down below. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Were you hoping to see more Scorpion? Were you hoping to see more Noob Saibot? I remember back in like 2021 or 2022 when I was still living in Pennsylvania, I made a video discussing how there was a leak that said that Scorpion would not be in the second movie, that it was also taking place in space. They're saying he's in the movie, but not so much. So, that report, for better or worse, wasn't too far off. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 2, some more news about it. Where's Quan Chi? Is Jade Quan Chi? I love you guys. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Again, let me know your thoughts on all this down below. Subscribe for some more MK content like this on the channel. Till next time, been your host, Ben Dynasty. Guys, please take care, stay safe. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.